Hello students, this video is my 6th video for the chapter Final Accounts of Companies. For a better understanding of the contents of this video, kindly watch my previous videos for this chapter. I'll be sharing the link in the description. In this video, I am going to continue the answer for a problem which we have already discussed in the previous video. In my previous video, I have worked out the statement of profit and loss for the problem, and for the same problem I'll be doing the balance sheet now. Let me proceed further.
As I told you already, is a continuation of my previous video. In my previous video for the same problem, I have already worked out the statement of profit and loss. And now I am going to work out the balance sheet, okay? So the problem is the same. You can just have a look at the problem. So this is the problem we have. So what all items you have already treated or taken for the statement of profit and loss from the trial balance, those items will not appear in the balance sheet now. Only those items which we have left off, okay, which we have not touched for the statement of profit and loss, those items only will come in the balance sheet now. And as far as this information given as additional information is concerned, as you all will know already, whatever is given in the additional information will affect your financial statement twice. Once it will come in the statement of profit and loss, and all these items will once again influence your balance sheet also. Okay, so this is what is the problem we have. So let us now proceed with the answer. So first we have to prepare the notes to accounts relating to the balance sheet. Okay, so let us start with note 1. As I used to tell always, as far as this particular chapter is concerned, that is company final accounts is concerned, being thorough with the format is very essential. So you have to know what all notes will come and what all items will come under which note. Okay. So note 1 usually will be for share capital. So as far as this particular problem is concerned, you are given the authorized capital. So authorized capital, have a look at the problem. So you are given the authorized capital as 5 lakhs. As you all will know, authorized capital is only a piece of information which has to be recorded in the balance sheet. It is the maximum amount of capital which a company is authorized to raise as per the Memorandum of Association, capital clause of the Memorandum of Association. This amount will not be taken into account for totaling purposes. Okay. Now, we will be entering the authorized capital in note 1. But what we need actually is only this share capital, that is this amount of 2,50,000, which we will be recording now. So we have entered 2,50,000. Okay, and whenever we have calls and arrears in the problem, calls and arrears will have to be deducted. So calls and arrears is given to us in the problem as 5,000. So when we deduct calls and arrears, we will be having a balance of 2,45,000. So 2,50,000 minus calls and arrears 5,000 will give us 2,45,000. So this will be note 1, share capital. The next note is for reserves and surplus. So let us have a look at the problem. So in the problem you are given reserves as 25,000. So this 25,000 will come under the heading reserves and surplus note 2. In addition, the profit amount which is already given, that is 6,220, this will also come under note 2, reserves and surplus. So let us proceed with note 2 now. So as I told you, 25,000 is reserves, and then balance at the beginning of the year, which was already given to us in the problem, 6,220. And then when we prepared the profit and loss account, we had a balance of, we had a profit of 1 lakh and 275 as the answer in the statement of profit and loss. Okay, to know how you got this 1 lakh 275, you can refer to my previous video. In my previous video, I have worked out the statement of profit and loss for the same problem, and as per that statement, we got the answer as 1 lakh 275. That only we are entering here. So we have 6,220. With 6,220, you'll be adding 1 lakh and 275. Now let us see what is the total we are getting. So we'll be getting a total of 1 lakh 6,495. The total will be 1 lakh 6,495. So this will be the total. So after you arrive at the total, you have to do appropriations if any. So let us see whether there is any appropriation, and let us have a look at the problem now. So in the problem, when you see, you are given the directors declared an interim dividend. And this is interim actually. Directors declared an interim. The directors declared an interim dividend on 15/8/2020 for 6 months ending June 30, 2020 at 6%. Okay, so this 6% is interim dividend. So which means the dividend declared in the middle of the year. That is what is called as interim dividend. So we have to calculate this 6% interim dividend, and that has to be calculated on the share capital which is available after deducting calls and arrears. So what is the amount available after deducting calls and arrears? It is 2,45,000. So on this 2,45,000, we have to calculate an interim dividend of 6%. So 2,45,000 into 6 by 100 will give us 14,700. Okay, so now when you deduct 14,700 out of 1,06,495, you will be getting 91,795. Okay, now we have to add these two amounts together. What are the two amounts to be added? This 25,000 plus 91,795, which will give us the total of note 2. So let us see what is the total of note 2 we are getting now. You will be getting 5, 9, 7, 6, 1, 1. 1,16,795. Okay, so note 2 is over with this. Now note 3 is for long-term borrowings. So for long-term borrowings, in the problem you are given unsecured loan, that will come 15,700. You can refer to the problem later. Then for note 4 will be for trade payables. So under note 4 trade payables, creditors will come. Okay, so under note 4 trade payable, we will be getting the creditors. So let us see how much is creditors. Creditors given to us in the problem is 35,200. So this creditors will come now 35,200. Then note 5 is for short-term provisions. For short-term provisions, we are already given provision for taxation in the problem, that 8,000 will come. Okay, so these are the various notes to accounts we have. So how much is short-term provisions? Note 5 short-term provisions is 8,000, that is provision for tax. Now let us continue with other current liabilities, which will be note 6. Other current liabilities. Under other current liabilities, the interim dividend payable, that is 14,700. This will come. Interim dividend payable, you calculated this already, remember? So it was appropriated earlier under note 2. So we made an appropriation of this out of the share capital. Now it becomes a current liability. Why? Because it is payable. Okay, interim dividend is payable. So under current liabilities, other current liabilities, we are recording 14,700 interim dividend payable, which is nothing but 6% of 2,45,000, which is the share capital after deducting call scenarios. Now we have note 7, which is for tangible assets. Actually, this tangible assets will come under non-current assets in the balance sheet. So under the heading non-current assets, this tangible assets will come. So you should know that till this note 6, all these are notes relating to liabilities. From note 7 only, the notes relating to assets will start. So this tangible assets will come under the heading non-current assets. Okay. So tangible asset is nothing but fixed asset. In other words, we will term this as fixed assets. So under fixed assets, you'll have plant less depreciation, which we have already calculated. Hope you remember, you were given the problem to calculate depreciation on plant as well as on furniture. So let us have a look at the problem once again. So in the problem, it was given depreciation on plant is 15% and depreciation on furniture is 10%. Okay, it was already considered when we prepared the statement of profit and loss. Now once it has to come in the balance sheet also, you will have to deduct the depreciation amount from the respective assets concerned. So from plant you will be deducting 15% and from furniture you will be deducting 10%. Okay. So this is what we have done now. So this is 15% which we have deducted from plant, and this is 10% which we have deducted from furniture. So after we deduct this, we will be getting the amount as 1,53,425 in case of plant, and 17,100 minus 1,710 will be getting 15,390 in case of furniture. So the total of these two will be the total of tangible assets. So you will be getting a total as 518, again 8, 6, 1. 1,68,815. This will be the total of note 7 tangible assets. Then note 8 will be for trade receivable. Usually under trade receivable we will be having debtors. So you can refer to the problem. Debtors given in the problem is 38,700. And we will be preparing note 9 for short-term loans and advances. Under short-term loans and advances, any prepaid items will come. In this problem, we have already heard prepaid insurance. As per the problem, it was given that insurance was prepaid. So let us just have a look at the problem. So in the problem, it is given insurance was up to this should be actually 21. 31,321. Okay, so 3 months insurance. There is insurance for January, February, and March. These 3 months insurance is prepaid. Okay, so this prepaid insurance will have to be treated now in the balance sheet. So what will you do here? This 3 months insurance, prepaid insurance, will be recorded under short-term loans and advances. That is 1,680. Okay, so these are the various notes we have prepared, and now after preparing all these notes relating to the balance sheet, let us proceed the preparation of the final balance sheet. Having done the notes, having prepared all the notes, preparation of the final balance sheet is very, very easy. So you have to give the heading as Moon and Star Company Limited, balance sheet as on 31/12/2020. We are preparing the balance sheet as per revised Schedule 6. There is no need to mention this. So just to make you understand, I am mentioning it here. This is what is the format which we are following now. So you'll be having one particular column, one column for note number and one column for amount in terms of rupees. So the first heading we'll have is equity and liabilities. That is the main heading. And then the second main heading will be assets. As you all know, your balance sheet answer will be correct if the total of equity and liabilities is the same as the total of the assets, which in which case we'll say that the balance sheet tallies. Okay. So actually, under the heading, main heading equity and liabilities, we have three main items. One is shareholders funds, the other one is non-current liabilities, and the third one is current liabilities. Under shareholders funds, first we will enter share capital, the total of note 1, 2,45,000. Then we'll be entering the total of note 2, that is reserves and surplus, that is 1,16,795. And then under the heading non-current liabilities, we'll be entering the amount of note 3, that is 15,700. Then under current liabilities, we'll be showing the amount of note 4, that is 35,200. Under we'll be showing short-term provisions, note 5, that is 8,000. Then we'll be recording note 6, that is other current liabilities, that is 14,700. So all these notes we have already prepared. Now the total of equity and liabilities is nothing but the total of 1 plus 2 plus 3. So what is 1 plus 2 plus 3? It is a total of shareholders funds plus non-current assets plus current liabilities. So for this you'll have to add all these amounts together. So let us add and find out how much are we getting. So you'll have 5 here, then you'll have 9, then you'll be having 3, then you'll be having 5, again 3, and then 4. 4,35,395. 4,35,395 is the total of equity and liabilities. Let us now get along with the assets. Usually, under the heading assets, we'll be having non-current assets and then current assets. Under non-current assets, we'll be recording the tangible assets, which is nothing but fixed assets after depreciation, for which we have already prepared note 7, which gives us a total of 1,68,815. You can refer to the notes. Then next we have current assets. Under current assets, we have already prepared note 8, that is trade receivables, which shows 38,700. Under trade receivable only we were having debtors. Then we have the rest of the items like closing stock, which has to be recorded. Then we have bank amount, which is given. So you can just look at the problem for this. So how much is the amount of bank that is given to us? Let us just have a look. So it is given as 34,700. Okay, as I told you already, those items which are given in the trial balance, which were not taken for the preparation of statement of profit and loss, all those items will now find a place in the balance sheet. Okay, so bank is again a item of current asset. Okay, so that will come here. So let us go back to the balance sheet. So bank is how much? 34,700. And then note 9, short-term loans and advances. You remember what is this amount? It is nothing but the prepaid insurance which we already calculated as per note 9. That is 1,680. So now we'll have to arrive at the total of assets, which is nothing but total of 1 plus 2. What do you mean by the total of 1 plus 2? Total of non-current assets plus current assets. So for this, we'll have to add all these amounts together. So let us add and see how much we are getting here. So you have 5, then 9. Please add and see. 3, again 5, again 3. Now you have 4. So, as I told you already, your answer will be correct, will be regarded as correct only when the total of assets is just the same as the total of equity and liabilities. So, what is the total we got for equity and liabilities? It is 4,35,395. And what is the total we are getting for assets? The total of assets is also 4,35,395. Okay, so we are having the same total, and so our answer is right. Okay, so I just repeat again and again what is very important to do the answers correct as far as this particular chapter final accounts of companies is concerned is that you should be thorough with the format. The format matters a lot. Okay, so this is what is the answer we have for the problem, and I hope that you are clear with this.
Hope you are thorough with how to prepare the balance sheet. As I told you already, this is a very important problem which often comes in the examination. I hope you are very clear with how to prepare the answer for this. If you like this video, kindly subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends also. Thank you very much for watching this video.